Hello everyone, my name is Sadia Education Wali. I'm student at Rehan College Korangi Campus, and there I'm enrolled in Teacher Training Bootcamp 1. Today we will talk with ChatGPT. So today our topic is the science behind happiness, how to cultivate joy. So let's start. Hello ChatGPT, my name is Sadia Education Wali. Today our topic is the science behind happiness, how to cultivate joy.
Hi, Arya. I'm really excited to dive into this topic. It's such a fascinating area. There's so much research on what actually drives happiness and how we can build more joy in our daily lives. What aspect of happiness are you most interested in, like mindset, social connections, or something else?
Okay, so ChatGPT, my first question is what is happiness and how do physiologists define it?
That's a great starting point. So, happiness is often defined as a positive emotional state, but physiologists and psychologists look at it a bit differently. They often describe it in terms of brain activity, neurochemicals like dopamine and serotonin, and overall well being. So, in short, it's both an emotional and a biological experience.
Okay, so my second question is why is happiness important for overall well being?
Yeah, that's a really important point. Happiness is linked to so many aspects of well being, both mental and physical. It can boost your immune system, lower stress hormones, and even improve your relationships. So, when people feel happier, they tend to be healthier, more resilient, and more engaged in life.
Okay, so is happiness something we are born with or can it be developed?
Ooh, great question. So, it's actually a bit of both. Research suggests we have a kind of baseline. Our genetics give us a set point for happiness, but a lot of it can be cultivated through habits, mindset, and intentional practices like gratitude or meaningful social connections. So, we can definitely grow it.
Okay, so what does science say are the biggest contribute or happiness?
Yeah, so the science points to a few big contributors. Strong social connections are huge, like having close relationships really boosts happiness. Purpose and meaning in life also play a big role, as do things like gratitude, exercise, and even spending time in nature. So it's really a mix of internal and external factors.
Okay, so what? How do you our thoughts and emotion influence our happiness?
That's a really important piece. Our thoughts and emotions shape how we interpret events. So if we have a more positive, optimistic mindset, we tend to feel happier, even in tough situations. And on the flip side, if we get caught in negative thinking patterns, that can affect our. Exactly. And that's
Okay, so what role does graduate play in the creating a happier life?
Gratitude is actually really powerful. When we regularly practice gratitude, it shifts our focus from what's lacking to what's already good in our lives. This boosts positive emotions, makes us more resilient, and actually rewires our brain over time to notice joy more easily.
Okay, ChatGPT. So, what is impact does physically exercise have on mood and mental well-being?
Oh, it's really significant. Physical exercise releases endorphins, which are those feel good chemicals, and it also reduces stress hormones like cortisol. Over time, regular movement can improve sleep, boost self esteem, and even help with things like anxiety and depression. So it's a huge mood booster.
Okay, so how does getting enough sleep affect happiness?
Oh, it's really crucial. When we don't get enough sleep, it affects our emotional regulation. So we're more irritable, less patient, and we actually have a harder time feeling positive. Good sleep, on the other hand, really supports a steady mood and a brighter outlook.
Okay, then what role does healthy eating play in improving emotional well-being?
Yeah, it plays a big role. What we eat actually affects our brain chemistry. So, a balanced diet with plenty of nutrients like omega 3s, vitamins, and fiber can reduce inflammation, stabilize energies, and support neurotransmitters. So, it really boosts mood and overall emotional balance.
Okay, then how do hobbies and creative activities improve happiness?
Ooh, that's a really nice one. Hobbies and creative activities give us a sense of purpose and flow. Basically, we get absorbed in something we enjoy, and that boosts our mood. Plus, they give us a break from stress, and that sense of accomplishment from creating something can be really uplifting.
Okay, then can money buy happiness? Why or why not?
Yeah, that's a classic question. So, money can buy happiness up to a point, like it reduces stress when it covers basic needs. But once you have enough for comfort, it's more about how you spend it. Experiences, giving to others, and pursuing passions tend to have a bigger impact on happiness than just having more money.
Okay, then my next question is how does social media affect happiness and life satisfaction?
Yeah, that's a bit of a double edged sword. On one hand, social media can help us feel connected, especially with friends and communities. But on the other hand, it can lead to comparison, social pressure, and even reduce self esteem. So it really depends on how we use it. Mindful use tends to support happiness, but overuse or negative interactions can drag it down.
Okay, then what are the some daily habits that can help people become happier?
Oh, definitely. So, simple daily habits like starting a gratitude journal, taking a few minutes to reflect on what went well, getting outside for a walk, regular social connection, those all help. Even just mindful breathing or a short meditation can lift mood.
Okay, so how can positive thinking improve emotional well-being without ignoring reality?
Ah, that's a great balance to strike. So, positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It's more about framing them in a way that acknowledges difficulties, but also sees possibilities. So, you stay grounded in reality, but you choose to look for growth, solutions, and what you can learn, rather than getting stuck in just the negative.
Okay, then what is the connection between stress management and happiness?
Yeah, they're really connected. When we manage stress effectively through things like mindfulness, relaxation techniques, or even just good time management, we don't get overwhelmed as easily. And that makes space for more positive emotions, better resilience, and ultimately greater happiness.
Okay, so my next question is
Of course. Go ahead with your next question. I'm ready to dive in.
okay, how can people stay happy during difficult time or streak backs?
Yeah, that's really important. So during tough times, staying connected to others is key, having a support system. Also, it helps to focus on small things you can control, practice self compassion, and remember that pain is temporary. And sometimes just giving yourself permission to feel what you feel is a big step toward healing.
Okay, then what are some common misconceptions people have about happiness?
Ah, yeah. One big misconception is that happiness is a permanent state. Like once you achieve it, you'll always feel happy. But in reality, it's more like a dynamic, fluctuating experience. Another one is that happiness comes from external success alone, but a lot of it is about internal factors like perspective, relationships, and mindset.
Okay, so how can setting meaningful goals increase life satisfactions?
Oh, yeah. So that's a great one. When we set meaningful goals aligned with our values or what we care about, we get a sense of purpose. And that sense of progress, even small steps toward a goal, really boosts life satisfaction. So it gives us a roadmap and keeps us motivated.
Okay, then my next question is what role does lifelong learning and personal growth play in happiness? ChatGPT, I'm saying, what role does lifelong learning and personal growth play in happiness?
Ah, that's a great point. Lifelong learning and personal growth keep us engaged and curious, which really sparks a sense of purpose. When we're growing, we often feel more competent, which boosts confidence and satisfaction. So, that ongoing development is a big piece of a fulfilling life.
Okay, so
Yeah,
my okay,
no
next
worries.
question is what is the most important lesson science has taught us about happiness?
That's a really rich question. So, one big lesson is that happiness is really multifaceted. It's not just about pleasure, but also about meaning and connection. Another lesson is that small daily practices like gratitude, social bonds, and kindness have a big impact. And also that happiness is something we can cultivate and not just something that happens to us.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
exactly. And I think what's really empowering is that a lot of these lessons remind us that happiness is a skill. We can practice it and build it over time, even when life throws curveballs.
okay, then what is the biggest obstacle that prevents people from living a happy life?
Yeah, a big obstacle is actually comparison. When we constantly compare ourselves to others, it can really drain our happiness. Other hurdles are rumination, getting stuck in negative thought loops, and also a lack of gratitude or not being present in the moment. So those things can really hold people back.
Okay, then my last question is what is your final advice for everyone who want to cultivate lasting happiness and joy every day?
Yeah, of course. My final to focus on small daily practices. Cultivate gratitude, stay connected to others, pursue meaningful goals, and be kind to yourself in the process. Happiness is a journey, not a destination. So just stay present and keep cultivating those positive habits.
Okay, thank you so much, ChatGPT, for sharing your valuable insight. Allah Hafiz.
You're very welcome. I'm really glad we got to talk about this. Take care and Allah Hafiz.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, for listening me. Allah Hafiz.